Alright, this is page 114. I think you're going to be excited at how easy adding decimals is. Adding decimals is similar to adding whole numbers. First, align the numbers by place value. Start adding at the right and regroup when necessary. Bring down the decimal point in your answer. So basically what that says, and what it shows you here, is that if you have 3 and 1200ths and 4 and 7/10ths, you need to line it up as your decimals all line up like this. And then what you should have noticed when you read this was 4 and 7/100ths isn't long enough, so we annex 0. So now we have this 0 right here didn't appear in the problem. So now we have all of our place values are long enough. 4 and 7/10ths wasn't long enough. But now if we annex 0 to the end of it, now it's 4 and 70/100ths. We've got hundredths, we've got tenths, we've got whole numbers, and you just add and you bring your decimal straight down. So let's go ahead and try this at the bottom of the page. First question is, why can you rewrite 4 and 7/10ths as 4 and 70/100ths? And in order to answer that, I kind of want to show you a picture. So I'm going to go back and get a picture from this page right here. I just need a hundredths grid, so I'm going to take a picture of it. And I'm just going to put it on the page. I'm going to go ahead and use this to answer this question right here. It says, why can you rewrite 4 and 7/10ths as 4 and 70/100ths? So for the purpose of this question, I'm not going to worry about the 4. I'm just going to talk about the 7/10ths and the 70/100ths. I'm not even going to put the 0 there. Is 7/10ths equal to 70/100ths? And the answer, it is. They're equal. Are they equal? The answer is yes, they are. The question is why? Well, if I were to think about these columns, these things that go up and down, like that, I'm going to show you how I'm going to think about this. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have 7 columns shaded out of 10. So what I have shaded here in pink is 7 out of 10. There are 10 columns and I shaded 7 of them. Now if I think about them as individuals, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then this would be 20, and I'm not going to do all the dots, but this would be 20. So instead of counting by columns, I'm going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Now I didn't change how much I had shaded, I just changed the way I counted. The first time I counted is by tens, by whole tenths, 1/10, 2/10. The second time I counted by individual hundredths, 1 100th, 2 100ths, but they're equal to each other. So why can you rewrite 4 and 7/10ths as 4 and 70/100ths? Because 4 and 7/10ths is equal to 4 and 70/100ths. They're equal to each other. That's why you can rewrite them the same. 4 and 7/10ths is the same as 4 and 70/100ths. Alright, so question number 4 says, why is it important to align the decimal points when adding? So we're going to write a word answer, and then I'm going to explain it just a tiny bit better too. It says, why is it important to align the decimal points when adding? We need to make sure to add numbers in the same place value, or with the same place value. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, that's the answer right there, but if that doesn't make sense to you, I'm going to help you understand that, and we're going to use an example, and we're going to talk about money on this example. So, and this example right here doesn't need to go into your answer, but I just want you to understand it. So here's the example for number 4. If I have just a couple of numbers, I don't know, something like 4.8, and then a different number like 3.12. And if I add these up like this, 3.12 plus 4.8, if I add those up, first of all, it doesn't look right. Second of all, think about it this way. What if this was money? How much money is this? That's $3.12. How much money is this? That's $4.80. But if I add it up like this, look at what I'm doing over here. If I add it up like this, I'm adding this 2 in the hundredths place is 2 cents. I'm adding that to 8 dimes, and then I'd be adding 1 dime, 10 cents. I'd be adding that to $4. You can't add up 10 cents to $4. That doesn't make sense. So the fact of the matter is that it's important to make sure that if you have your whole numbers here are 3 and 4. you've got to add up 3 and 4, which means the 4 needs to move over. It needs to go right here. So we already wrote our answer. I just wanted you to kind of understand how if you had money, you could really mess up your answer there if you add up dollars to dimes or something like that. All right, let's check out your turn. You've got 4 problems to do. If you wanted to, you could hit pause and you could try these and then check your answers when you're done. They go pretty quick. All right, number 5 is 0 and 42 hundredths plus 0 and 27 hundredths. And that's simple. They're the same length already, so we just add up. 2 plus 7 is 9. 4 plus 2 is 6. Decimal comes straight down. 0 plus 0 is 0. I got 0 and 69 hundredths. And if this were money, we'd put a dollar sign, it'd be 69 cents, but it's just regular decimals. Number 6 is our first one that has different lengths. If you notice, 0 and 61 hundredths is supposed to get added to 0 and 329 thousandths. And 0 and 329 thousandths is longer. And so what we can do to make sure they're the same length is we can simply annex a 0 to 0 and 61 hundredths. So I've got 0 plus 9 is 9. 1 plus 2 is 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. Decimal comes straight down. 0 plus 0 is 0. I've got 939 thousandths. 0 and 939 thousandths. All right, let me clear my board here so I have a little bit of space for numbers 7 and 8. Number 7 is 3 and 25 hundredths. And 4 and 6 tenths. And this is like exactly like the question above where it says, why is it important to add things with the same place values? Well, if this were money, it'd be $3, and we'd add up $3 and $4. We'd have to add up our dimes, and we have to add up our pennies correctly. So I'm going to annex a 0, and 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 6 is 8. And 4 plus 3 is 7. I get 7 and 85 hundredths. And number 8, I've got 17 and 27 hundredths, 3 and 88 hundredths. And I can tell already that this will be one of our first ones where we have to regroup. 7 plus 8 is 15, carry. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, carry. Decimal comes straight down. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 is 11, carry. And 1 plus 1 is 2. You get 21, 15, 21 and 15 hundredths. All right, good job. You're done with page 114. Let's move on to page 115.